Hey guys, I just got back from seeing Christopher Robin, and I'm gonna try something new here. A wholly unscripted, fresh review of movies, and depending on how this does, I'll do more. We'll see. So Christopher Robin, if I could describe it as a metaphor, it would be like a sledgehammer of like pure nostalgia, being swung repeatedly at my nuts. Which this has kind of been Disney's MO, right? For their sort of live-action revitalizations of old properties. However, I will say this for Christopher Robin. Unlike Beauty and the Beast and Maleficent, for instance, I didn't immediately feel the cynical grab for my money. I mean, I'm not naive. I know it's there. I know that's the whole point, because I mean, in the end, Disney is a business. But I gotta be honest, I enjoyed Christopher Robin for what it was. Now, a little bit of background here. When I was a kid, I loved me some Winnie the Pooh. I mean, this was during the heyday of the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. You know what I'm talking about, the series that was in the 90s that was just fantastic. So Winnie the Pooh was a huge part of my childhood. And I gotta be honest, I was pretty emotional when I was holding my 3-year-old daughter on my lap while I'm watching the movie about Winnie the Pooh, and then seeing her falling in love with Winnie the Pooh. That was awesome. Until she fell asleep, because the family movie is 2 hours and 5 minutes long, which is really kind of like a half an hour too long, I feel like. The movie is very beautifully shot, and by that I mean the cinematography is fantastic. There are some incredible visuals. I find it very impressive that all I had to do was look in Pooh's beady little black eyes and I immediately fell in love with him. The animation on these stuffed animals is particularly impressive to me. They looked like stuffed animals come to life. I was very impressed with that. Christopher Robin, I feel like, has a very positive message. I'll be honest, at the beginning of the film I was a little concerned that it was going to be this ultra grim and gritty take on Christopher Robin growing up, but I mean, in the end, it's the same exact message that you would expect to hear. You know, Christopher Robin learns that he needs to spend time with his family and let his little girl be a child instead of pushing her in a particular direction. And I think that's always an important message. I personally think that it is very beneficial to revisit things from your past, to get back into the headspace of being a child again. Because when we were children, we didn't have any social expectations or inhibitions that were stopping us from thinking whatever we wanted to think. But I think it's important for everybody to get into that headspace, because that's where creative thinking happens. And when I say creative thinking, I mean that kind of creative thinking that helps in any field, whether you're writing YouTube videos, or you're writing books, or you're working on quantum physics. Now, that being said, I think the film is too long. I think the film has some serious pacing issues. I think that once we get all of the animals together and the adventure, the expedition starts, that's when it gets really good. The problem is that that's like 2/3 of the way into the movie, and it's too short-lived. I wish that there had been more of that. It's kind of a little bit of a slower burn, which I think is going to make it harder for younger audiences to connect with it. I do think it's nice to see a movie that is different from the big action blockbusters, a movie that feels like it's okay to take its time. I think that Mark Forster does a really good job of evoking powerful emotions of nostalgia. He did a great job with that with Finding Neverland, but I think that there's something holding it back from truly attaining greatness. And in the end, I think this film, it's not going to go down as a Disney classic, but it's definitely something that I enjoyed. If I had to give it a score, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Anyways, guys, that's my hot take on Christopher Robin. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie. Let me know if you like this format. Let me know if you want me to review more modern movies.